If this happened in France now,
Yeah, that's right.
they would blockade all the
every
export ports,
Yeah.
and they bring it to a standstill.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be for 1 day or 2
No.
hours. That's right.
But I tell you, there's a ship there flying the French flag. Look,
Yeah.
see that? We would
That's
give
right.
him, we give him a broadsider later on. All right. When we get in gun range,
Whether it's French, Belgium, Dutch, or what, or Spanish, they're all against us.
and look here, Peter. Look.
Yeah. He's right back.
To fishermen like Roger, who've spent 30 years at sea, the idea of being forced to stay in port is bad news.
The 1 o'clock news from the BBC.
An inquiry says 12 London hospitals should close or merge. Miners' leader Roy Link emerges from his underground protest. And the final reunion, 50 years after the Battle of El Alamein. Good afternoon. Four major...
we never really made the headlines.
Well, they were Grimby.
Obviously.
No, well, the miners did.
18 words in a little small paragraph in the paper. About 30 seconds on the news. Sad, isn't it?
That's all we're worth.
I don't think it made any difference at all. Very little reported about it. And I often wonder sometimes whether or not the powers to be say, look, don't put too much of that on the television because we don't want the public to see what's happening here. Now, I don't know whether they do or no. Whether they censor it, now I don't know. But I aren't going to say whether they do or don't, but it always appears to me to be something like that, you know.
Roger. How are you, boy?
All right,
I haven't
all right.
seen you for how many decades? Eh?
Eons, I should say, eons.
Never...
Right.
What's your problem?
Oh, we got a big one in here, big problem. I'll show you first, shall I? Now, here we have it. I suppose you've seen a few of these in your time, have you?
Oh, great.
Yes, I
Oh,
know.
Lord, yes.
Hmm.
Who's this from? Inland Revenue?
Yeah.
$38,000.
Phenomenal, isn't it?
You must earn some money.
I don't say that, for God's sake. The initial amount wasn't such a great amount. The only thing that brought it up was the damn interest on the... And that just shot it.
And the penalties. Yeah.
That's right.
Judgment debt, £17,762 late, 175 judgment costs. Under an agreement in writing contained, signed by you, 27 April 1988. Well, you've had it then, haven't you?
I spend as much time on this out to sea as what a bloody lighthouse does.
That's right, yeah.
Hardly ever in.
Whose name's the house in, Roger? Yours or your wife's?
Well, it was Nell's house. To be quite truthful, you know, what I stand up in is what I own. Apart from the sea gear, and I spend my life in the sea gear, don't I? If you look at it that way.
Well, you got my sympathies, Roger. You signed and agreed your life away back in 1988. How many more of you are there like this over in Newham?
Well, that's not for me to say, is it?
I came across one last week.
It's not for me to say.
Somebody wanted to come and see me, and I said, well, I think he was in exactly...
But it's a sign of the times, isn't it?
I said, no, don't bother. And he was going to do exactly the same thing. He was going to go bankrupt.
Yeah. People working ashore, they must think, well, why did he do that? Well, because they cannot realise, they've never worked on the same way as we, like, out there you have your money and you spend it. Because they're working, theirs come out beforehand. And lots of people probably like sort of condemn me for being like that. But at the end of the day, they don't realise what you go through sometimes to earn maybe £100. They've no idea whatsoever. None. Right, thank you, Cynthia. Tony, look at that.
Roger, I ain't got my glasses.
Hey, where are you?
Oh, you what?
Can you see that
They
there?
ain't no good, Tony. Are they?
Bankruptcy Act, the High Court of Justice. Oh, there we are, Tony. That's me, bankrupt, made bankrupt, look. Made bankrupt, you're made bankrupt. So that's the end of it, isn't it? So,
Didn't particularly mean anything, did it really? In terms of...
not a thing. Not a thing. Like water over a duck's back. But we've always been like that. Now look. I know, Cop. I never even had enough to pay for ounce of tobacco just now. I walked in the shop, Peter, what like that? I had to leave all the fish in the shop, bag in the shop, jacketed it down, and pull the boat to pieces. And there we are, that's what I got.
There were some criticisms when the tax issue was highlighted, and I think there were a lot of people that thought that the fishermen were people who didn't pay their tax. In actual fact, I think there were several that were getting away with paying their tax. I mean, that's certainly changed now. Fishermen, whether it's because of the series, I don't know, but fishermen now are part of, here in Newlyn in particular, all part of this Share Fishermen's tax savings scheme. So they're all, pay some money up front each time they land into this savings scheme. So they can't get away with their tax now.
Hello? Hello? Whoa! What did I get? What did I get? Mwah! Another one? God, I'm sure you've grown a bit. Let's have a look at you. Go up, get in the water. Daddy, have a little look at it. Let's have a look. Anyhow, no, that's that over and done with.
What is?
Made bankrupt, and that's the end of that there, isn't it? So now you can relax and stop worrying.
And start from square one.
Well, you know what you're like, you're always worrying about it. I should, you worry more about it than what I do. Yeah. Now there, look. See that? See that? Half an inch. See that? Hey, I think you're looking a bit happier now, Nelly.
Do you?
I do, yeah, I do. Well, I do.
Must be seeing you then.
What's on? I like the t-shirt in here. Dad liked the t-shirt.
I think I've been worrying about that for years and years. And now it's finally over, yeah, it's a great relief.
Well, you seem to worry about it more than I do now.
Well, I do worry about these things. It's a big thing to worry about, isn't it?
Oh, well, start again.
Well, no, it's not, definitely not going to start again. No way, no.
So really speaking then, I'm not going to be allowed to have anything then? Not a pint or...
Well, no, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? No, I'm not saying that, no.
Well, me and Sophie aren't going to cut back, are we, Sophie? Little visit to town for a doll or a troll. Oh, my God.
You were just brought up to earn your money, come in and spend it, and go out and earn some more.
A little bit like a Wild West.
Have a damn good time when you came in, and why shouldn't you?
Too right. I can't get that damn thing off.
But unfortunately, you know, it can't be done like that anymore.
Christ.
Live today, pay later, that sort of attitude.
I might get around and have a pint later on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can have a couple of bob off.
Haven't got any.
And now we're going away here again for another 8-9 days.